What are your thoughts on Kamala's trip to the border? Will that help her close the gap with Trump in Arizona? I don't think she needs Arizona.
I don't think anyone needs Arizona.
I don't like clowns.
The greatest threat to humanity is ignorance.
Counting down till MAGA Republicans in Florida become socialists, begging for taxpayer handouts so they can rebuild in 3, 2, 1.
The party of
understanding, compassion.
What are your thoughts on Kamala's trip to the border? Will that help her close the gap with Trump in Arizona? I don't think she needs Arizona.
I don't think anyone needs Arizona. I would stay in Arizona with Putin. Here, take Arizona, leave Ukraine alone.
Yeah, but there are plenty of intelligent people in Nashville and in Arizona. They come out to see you.
Not plenty.
spare me the elitist bullshit.
God, these people are so
Vile.
Why was it important for you to say no more Trump because of his January 6th conduct, and do you stand by that?
No, I don't stand by it, and I'll tell you why. I've now lived 4 years under the Biden-Harris policies, and I have to say that those policies are not only becoming an existential threat to our country's way of life, but to our allies as well.
So when you,
and
this
it has
is,
to,
this is,
no,
so
no,
Ambassador,
no,
this is, I'll let you finish, but
no,
this is so striking. You said it was a no for me after that, after January 6th.
I did.
And here we are right now.
I did.
And you're saying it's a yes for you.
It is a yes for me. It is an absolute yes for me. That is how badly the Biden-Harris team have prosecuted their job.
But the whole point you seem to be making was that January 6th and that kind of attack on democracy is bigger than any policy.
But I am seeing so many attacks on democracy that eclipse January 6th.
Oh, someone's
waking up.
But do you really believe that when people talk about the threat to democracy that Trump poses, do you really think that that is an equal evil to Biden?
I mean, listen, I can make the argument that President Biden is a much worse threat to democracy. And the reason for that is President Biden is the first candidate in history, the first president in history that has used the federal agencies to censor political speech, so to censor his opponent.
He sure is.
And I think the dislike of and anguish over social media is just growing and growing and growing. And it's part of our problem, particularly in democracies, in terms of building consensus around any issue. It's really hard to govern today.
It's so hard to lie.
You can't, there's no, the referees we used to have to determine what's a fact and what isn't a fact have kind of, been eviscerated to a certain degree.
The propagandists of a totalitarian dictatorship.
And people go, and that people self-select where they go for their news or for their information. And then you just get into a vicious cycle. So it's really, really hard, much harder to build consensus today than at any time in the 45, 50 years I've been involved in this. And there's a lot of discussion now about how you curb those entities in order to guarantee that you're going to have, some accountability on facts, et cetera. But look, if people go to only one source and the source they go to is sick and, has an agenda.
The Democratic Party.
And they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be able to just, hammer it out of existence. So what we need is to is to win the ground, win the right to govern by hopefully having, winning enough votes that you're free to be able to implement change.
Taking away basic human rights? Free will?
Now, obviously, there are some people in our country who are prepared to implement change in other ways.
Who's the
threat to our democracy?
These are horrible ghouls.
I think you was in agreement that your force was institutionally based. Is that correct?
I agreed with the report, the independent report, and so did the chief fire officer accept the findings.
Okay, so
of that
can you
report.
please tell me, Councillor, what unfair advantages white people have in your force?
I would hope not, none. Not advantages. Did I hear you?
Yeah, do they have
correctly?
any advantages?
No.
So then how can you be institutionally racist?
Sorry, I might have to get back to you.
No, you don't. You said your force was institutionally racist, yet white people have no advantages.
I'm a feminist. I'm a big flaming feminist.
Yet white people have no advantage at all.
Yes.
So how can it be racist?
Maybe I was interpreting the phrase a bit as a whole, as a phrase.
Maybe I am.
Full of shit.
It is a messed up world.